They're going to undergo some wage restraint initiatives. If they're able to achieve that, they might actually be able to beat their budget projections and balance within this term. Until then, I do think they could have showed more discipline in the past year. Program spending growth was more than 5%. They actually added about $700 million since their fall economic projections, and it would have been better not to see that, but if they can hold the line in the coming few years, we're optimistic that they will achieve their balanced budget goals and could maybe even beat them.
I think it's deeply concerning. You know, the consultations that have been happening around the funding formula and the move to performance-based funding has been happening for a long time, and students, faculty, and institutions have been speaking out against it because it's rolling the dice with the future of our post-secondary system. It's going to create a system of winners and losers, and it pits schools against each other. And schools in northern communities, small institutions, are at a disadvantage compared to larger schools who have the resources to perform more successfully. And the other important question is, what performance are they talking about? Are they talking about how many students are getting a job 3 months after graduation? There's all sorts of factors that are important to bear in mind here, which this budget really doesn't address.
I think nurses are very pragmatic. Nurses are not a partisan in one way or another, so it all depends if the Premier will keep his promise that that first of all there will be no losses to nurses, that nurses will work to their full potentials. Nurses want, are eager. Just yesterday I asked a large group of nurses that work in long-term care, any of you that wants to do RN prescribing so that seniors do not need to move from a nursing home to a hospital, all the hands went up. You know, so if nurses will see that this government is utilizing them to their fullest. Nurses of course want a decent income and they want a decent life like anybody else. What they want above almost everything else is to contribute fully to Ontarians, and it's about time.
Look, the move that was made on accelerated depreciation was something that came in effect after the election because of what Mr. Trump did in the United States. It provides significant incentive to our members and to all businesses. We think that's a great step. We would love to see another point come off the corporate rate. And from a small business perspective, we've been encouraging the government to look at a variable rate, because right now, if you have a profit under $500,000, you're at the small business rate of 3 and change, and then after that it jumps up to the full corporate rate. We'd like to see a kind of a progressive taxation so that small businesses are encouraged to scale up and be able to reinvest more of the money that they're making into growing their business. That said, the government's got to make their adjustments and live within their means. So again, they can't do everything that we ask, much as we'd like that.